towards Aberdeen. Once you've left Stonehaven, your train will hug the edge of the cliffs until it reaches the outskirts of Aberdeen. Look out across the vast expanse of the North Sea. You'll probably see quite a few large, brightly coloured ships. These are oil rig supply boats, the workhorses of the offshore oil industry. Now, the indented sandstone cliffs here may not be high, but they are a pretty impressive sight from the carriage window. At their base, waves may be smashing against the rocks or just slipping in and out on a glassy sea. Aberdeen is the main focus for Scotland's oil and gas industry. The city was transformed by the discovery in 1970 of the vast Forties oil field in the North Sea. Throughout the 70s and 80s, more and more people came here to work in the new supply bases and offices. They needed houses and schools, so building took place in the surrounding rural landscape. Transport links to Aberdeen by sea and by air increased too. At first, there was little expertise in the UK in oil and gas exploration and extraction methods, and so thousands of Americans came to retrieve the black gold from deep below the ocean floor. Nowadays, Scots oilmen and women travel the world, taking their hard-won skills to other countries. The North Sea provides 70% of the UK's energy for transport, heating and electricity, and makes a major contribution to the UK's energy security. Scotland's actually the world's 15th largest oil and gas producer. That's above Qatar and Indonesia. About 30,000 people work offshore in around 280 drilling and accommodation platforms. The oil and gas is brought back to land in Shetland and Aberdeenshire by pipeline and tanker. As the amount of oil and gas in the North Sea is decreasing, new technology is making extraction from some of the more remote oil fields more economical. Increasingly, attention is turning to the more sustainable option of renewable energy, and turbines are being built far out in the North Sea to harness the power of the wind. By 2020, the equivalent of all of Scotland's electricity demands is expected to be met from renewable sources. This emerging sector of offshore renewables may well become the second energy rush to affect Aberdeen. The sea has always been a tremendous resource for the people living here. At one time, small boats would have set out from harbours all along the coast in search of the sea's harvest of mackerel, herring, plaice, cod and haddock. However, the changes seen in the fisheries and the fleet mean that the management of fishing is the source of much debate. The constant challenge is to achieve sustainable fishing, which requires matching the amount of fishing to the size of the fish stocks and maintaining the high quality of the marine environment. Ultimately, Scotland's fishing industry depends on the health and productivity of our seas. Scottish and European regulations control the activity of the fishing fleet. These rules seek to address concerns about fish stocks, which can fluctuate because of climate-related change and inappropriate exploitation. The aim is to enable fishermen to make a living by ensuring that there are productive and sustainable fisheries in the future, including non-fish catches like lobsters and crabs much closer to land. If you go for a walk by the shore in Aberdeen, you can watch the boats come and go, but there's lots of wildlife to enjoy too. Gulls and terns swoop along the expanse of the long sandy beach. At the busy harbour mouth, you might glimpse a harbour porpoise, but you're actually more likely to catch sight of larger bottlenose dolphins, their fins cutting through the water, and they're leaping, an absolute joy to watch,